So if you've bought work like this from Gallery Panda or from other sources like at cons or online or whatever, and you've seen the cool light boxes that they have, I'm going to show you how to make your own at home. First, I'm starting with this 16 by 24 shadow box. It's important that you get the shadow box because it has the depth that you'll need to line the LEDs here in the back. The one that I got here from Amazon specifically has this foam cover on the inside, but I'm removing it and then I'm folding these back in order to make sure that they're out of the way. And then after I remove the foam insert, which is coming away really easily. It just came off with like just this. I can pry it open. After I do that, the acrylic piece in the front here will remove. So if you're like me and the art that you got like has this nice embossed quality to the front of it, then you don't want any kind of pieces of acrylic like hiding that, right? So you can remove that if you want. If you've got a piece of work, a work of art that does not have that embossed cover, of course you can leave the acrylic piece in place. So I'm going to finish taking this off and then I'm going to show you the steps that I do next. Alright, so the next step in this is that I took this to a frame shop and I had them add little brads along the edges in order to hold this in place. Obviously these up here, these are no good. I don't want these. I need something that's going to hold the piece of acrylic art close to the front of the frame. And before I secure this in here, you may notice as you're going through that there is a lot of space here along the lines between the art and the frame. And what this means is that the brads won't be sufficient in order to hold this in place. So what I got at the frame shop was this little spacer. And this is customizable. These are really cheap. They're usually like $7 or $8. And you can cut down a piece of the spacer. And it has like adhesive already on the back of it. And you just fit it in here, like under here between the piece of work and the brad. That way this is more stationary and it gives it some stability so that the art isn't moving around. Even though you're going to be hanging it, you don't want gravity to like pull it down, or even if it gets shaken or moved in some way, you don't want the acrylic to fall forward out of the frame, which is a risk when there's this much space. So I'm going to add this, and then we're going to move to adding the LEDs. So now I've added this spacer at the bottom here, and as you can see, it's the person who did this for me knew they'd be adding a spacer, and they did not plan for these brackets here to be high enough for the spacer, so they do conflict with it a little bit. But overall, so far, it's very steady, and you can see I can pick it up, and there's no space between the art and the edges. The pressure from the brackets is nice and tight. The spacer has done a lot to alleviate the problem of the slightly extra space between the art and the frame. So let's line the LEDs next. So the really great thing about doing the 16 by 24 light box is that the interior area is 6.66 feet. And you can buy LED light strips in 6.56 feet very easily on Amazon. It's like one of the standardized sizes that they carry. So this is going to line up almost perfectly inside of our box. Now these are like the chaser lights. They're adjustable. They're very high quality, and I paid a little bit extra for them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin, and I'm just going to show you here because I'm not going to be able to. I'm doing this kind of like single-handedly, and I don't have a camera mount, but I'm going to line this as closely as I can to the interior. And what I'm going to do for this part here, as you can see here, it's like, oh, it kind of like sticks out, and this would make the frame like not lay flush with the wall. I'm going to take a Dremel to this part of the frame, and I'm going to make a hole that will allow this to lay inside of it. And I'm probably going to cut it in pretty deeply because I want this I want this to be able to sit nicely here without the adhesive coming off, and obviously I don't want there to be any pressure there too. So the closer that this is to where this is mounted, it's going to put less pressure on the adhesive to come off with time. So I completed the Dremel hole here on the side, and if you notice, don't be a fool like me, I made this too far from the edge because I thought, oh, like I will just avoid this little clip right here and not hit it with the Dremel. And it didn't lay quite flush like I wanted to if I put it too far. So make sure that you're putting it like really close to here. I may come back here and put some sort of additional securing device, because obviously like this is kind of a risk, like if this gets pulled too hard, that the whole line will start to come up. But I've started to lay these USB, this these LED lights down here, and as I'm just going through, just removing the adhesive and just very carefully lining the inside of the box and making sure that it is nice and even, and hopefully I did my measurements right and it will not have any additional cord left over. So let's find out. I have completed wrapping the LED lights around, and the measurement was pretty much perfect. Like this stopped in right under where I started it. So get the 6.56 size for this size box for sure. Let's go see if it can be hung up. What I'm going to do is, you can see here that there's like these gaps here, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure and put my mounts in the wall right at where these spots would be, so it's not putting any kind of tension on here. I thought about somehow putting a mount directly into the frame. I don't think I have sufficient tools to do that without maybe making cracks in the frame or ruining it in some way. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my mounts here in these corners and make sure that they're like well into the corners and not like bugging the LED here in any way. And here's the end result. I was able to mount this on the wall with 2 nails. No other support was needed, and the nails went in the space between the frame and the LEDs. If you have any questions about how this was constructed, please feel free to leave comments and I'll do my best to get back to you. Good luck making your own LED box. Thanks for watching.